I nearly did not make it because I was quite unwell, and if in between I do sound a little disconnected and incoherent, please do excuse me. When I got this invite from Professor Srikumar, for a moment I was a little taken aback because I really am not a typographer. There are many, many of you over here who are so, and I wondered why me? And then I thought that maybe I could share with you what I had learned over these years. So my presentation, my talk today is divided in two parts. The first part being my learning, one key learning that I had in all these years. And the second part is to share a concern and to present to you what seems to me and what I'm absolutely convinced is a burning need, that a challenge that really we face as designers, as typographers in the world of tomorrow. I've been around for about 32 years in this profession. I have, as you just heard, I've been working for about 12 organizations in various capacities. I have been involved with the design, redesign, and relaunch of about 24 products, and I have negotiated 40 editors. Please do give me a round of applause. Thank you. But I must say there are three people who left a very, very deep mark on my career. They helped in shaping me and making me who I am. Arvind Patel. Mr. Patel, thank you so much. I was just out of the art school, and you know how you are when you're out of art school, you think you know it all. And I was hired as a trainee at the India Today office by Mr. Patel. And that really was an eye-opener, because I realized that this was just the beginning. And what I learned from him in the short period that I had an opportunity to work with him at India Today, I carry with me till today. It was when Mr. Patel instilled in me how one needs to be sensitive and caring about type, about form. I learned it the hard way, reprimanded multiple times, but I enjoyed it, and I wouldn't give it up for anything, sir. Thank you so much. I'll keep that in mind. The next gentleman, I think a lot of us are familiar with, Mr. M.G. Moinuddin. And what can I say about him? A soft-spoken designer that you could ever meet. For again a very short while, he was with us with India Today, and our conversations would just go on about various things, and sometimes it would just go on, and finally culminate when we would break for either lunch, biryani, kebabs that he would bring from home, and it would just continue, and it was a wonderful experience. He really instilled in me the ability to be able to appreciate the fineness of a form. A third person, Dr. Mario Garcia, with whom I partnered on 3 projects, Mint, Hindustan, and Hindustan Times. Mario Garcia is a short bundle of energy. You can't keep him still, you can't keep him quiet. He will keep talking incessantly, and you really have to be attentive because you will miss the gems that he gives out to you. It was undoubtedly another wonderful experience. But what these people had was passion. And that's what I learned, how to be passionate. Passionate about art, passionate about your skill, believe in what you're doing, Because then, and then only, will you be able to take up the challenges that will come your way. And there were many. In all these years, whenever I did face a challenge, I really tried to think, how would these three gentlemen, who have taught me so much, approach the subject? And invariably, I would be able to find my answers. And that brings me to the second part of my talk. Right now, as I see it, we have a huge need to be able to see where we are headed. What we see around us is a phenomenal amount of change, a change that is practically taking us out by storm, and for me, it's a little unnerving because you're constantly learning and relearning every day. What you know today is gone tomorrow, what you know tomorrow is gone the day after. And to use a cliche, probably it is the only constant. We are experiencing a very high degree of visual presence around us. There are multiple points of contact. What in publishing used to be the first, when the newspaper was to be delivered to your place, and you had one route to deal with, the printed route. Now you don't do that. You have to deal with multiple approaches, the mobile, the tablet, and it's across multiple platforms. And the trickiest part is that it comes in short bursts of engagement. And that is where I think a very important challenge lies, because as a print brand, one needs to make an impact. One needs to make a mark in the readers, in the audiences, in the community's mind. And you need to grab the mind space. And as Dr. Garcia very interestingly put it, he says visual unity is very important as a way of enhancing and expanding a brand so that it is recognizable regardless of what platform the user is utilizing. At Hindustan Times, we are moving, as you just heard, into a very interesting phase. We're looking to go digital first. And when we started on this project, we asked ourselves, what is it that we need to do? And as we kept discussing and went deeper and deeper into it, we realized that we really have to think it completely afresh. There are a couple of international examples who have been the early adopters, and they have learned the hard way, and they're still learning, I guess. And it's just not publications. There are a couple of, and this is an example of a betting site who have been able to, bring that unity across multiple platforms. And probably they don't even have a print version. But in India, we're still in the process of discovery, as what we have realized. We're still exploring. There are a couple of examples that I've put up on the screen, and of course Hindustan Times is one of them. And we really are struggling to figure out how is it that we need to bridge the print-digital divide. And to my mind, and there have been some work on this front, but I believe that there is a phenomenal amount to be done. To my mind, we need a much deeper study to understand the Indian audience. And I'm saying the Indian audience because that's pretty much the immediate context that we are, but as we have seen from the people who engage with us on our digital platforms, 65% of them are only from India. And interestingly, in the company's profits, 95% comes from the print domain. We need to very clearly understand how this audience engages. What are the touch points? How do they interact? What do they deal with? What are their concerns? And how do they consume the content that we give out to them? We have to be able to present the brand, the throw of the brand, without exactly copying what's there in the print domain on the digital platform, we need to take it forward. And I believe typography is a very important aspect of that. At Hindustan Times HT Media, we have realized and we would like to partner with an organization, individuals who would help us take this forward. And as my editor-in-chief, Sanjay Narayan, says, as we grapple with new platforms and changing behavior of new audiences, finding the right solutions without being overly influenced by what works in print, that will be crucial. That will be crucial. I'm pretty much at the end of my talk, and let me just bring up another slide by a person whom I really admire and we all engage with in some form or the other, Steve Jobs. And I put this quote by him because I thought it was a very interesting one. Design is a very funny word, is a funny word. Some people think design means how it looks. But of course, if you dig deeper, it's really how it works. And we as designers have to find ways and means of making it work across platforms and make the experience consistent and rewarding. Thank you so much.